Hey guys, it's Ty the Dog Guy with Ty the Dog Guy on the Daily, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about focus. In fact, so these podcasts will come out on different days, but I actually just finished doing a little podcast on adrenaline and how its opposite is focus, and then if we have focus, we can kind of get rid of adrenaline, and therefore we can have a dog who's calmer, paying attention, and not prone to so many different behavior problems and things like that. And so, as I was walking away, I realized, shoot, people are probably going to wonder, okay, how do we get more focus? Because that was kind of how I left the end of my last podcast, is like, hey, are you suffering from a lack of focus? Okay, what can we do to kind of overcome that? And so, focus is a product of what I call spatial awareness. So I've been preaching this concept since I wrote my first book, probably about 10 years ago. But that spatial awareness is, speaking of which, Chip, come on. Good girl. Come here. Sits. So, this is a good example. If you're not watching the video and just watching the podcast, okay. What just happened here is there's a gentleman up there on a bicycle. He was coming up to this little fork in the road where we were coming, and I lost a little bit of focus from Chocolate Chip. Chip, come. Good girl. Same thing right there. Again, if you're watching the video, you'll know, but if you weren't, she's coming around a corner, her ears go up, she's really interested in what's going on somewhere else, and I don't want that degree of focus elsewhere. Now, it's one thing if a dog is simply like noticing something. Come on. Good girl. You know, noticing something like, hey, there's a bike or there's a dog. It's another thing when we start losing that focus and the dog is starting to mentally go down this path where they're like, I think I want to engage with that thing more than I want to engage with my owner or the commands that my owner has given. And that's a problem. You know, when the dog, it's not bad to have a dog with a mind of its own, but it is bad to have a dog who's deciding, no, I want to engage with this more. Come on. Good girl. And so I was seeing that when, the bike was, when the gentleman on the bike was coming, she was getting interested. Now, to be honest, I haven't passed that many bikes with her in her year of owning her. And so, at least not off leash. And so I wasn't quite clear on how she was going to respond. And so I saw that I was losing focus. This is a great object lesson. I swear I didn't plan it. This guy just happened to be there on a bike. But anyways, I saw that I was losing focus. And so I needed to create some spatial awareness. Now, spatial awareness, like I say, is awareness to you, the handler, or awareness to a space that you've asked them to occupy. And sometimes that's the same thing. Sometimes I've said, occupy the space next to my leg, and we're going to heal. And when we heal, you're aware of me, you're focused on me, and that doesn't allow you to focus on the bike. Or I've asked you to lie down and stay, so I need you to focus and have spatial awareness with this little bed that you're staying on, or with this little, with this downstay, this section of carpet that I put you on. I need you to focus on that spatial awareness. Or in the case of the bike coming, I see you're losing focus over there. I need you to be aware of where I am, and so I'm going to recall you. But essentially, when we create this spatial awareness to either ourselves or to a command, what happens is it negates the dog's ability to focus heavily on something else that we don't want them to focus on. And again, when we get that, going back to the last podcast, when we get that, we have a dog who is low on adrenaline, calmer, and thinking rather than just simply going off half-cocked, making decisions that we don't like. And so in any case, spatial awareness is the key to creating the focus that we want. If you don't have very good obedience with your dog, it's not likely you're going to get there. If you're going to try to get this with hot dogs and cookies, it's not likely you're going to get there. The best way that you're going to get there is through teaching spatial awareness, through, like I say, teaching the dog to pay attention to you or to a command. And again, obedience is the way to make that happen. So get after it. obedience training for your dog, teach some focus, teach some spatial awareness. You'll thank me later.